Good. Ah, good evening and welcome to SAS Sober and Smiling. My name's Rob.
I'm Liam. I'm Jamie.
I'm Nick.
So we are on episode 43, I believe. Tonight's episode. So welcome everybody. We're here at the Old Escape House. Tonight's episode is going to be about Jamie. So Jamie's going to do a story, tell you a bit about himself. Obviously, he's got the business here at Holton Deal, so we can talk about that as well. Over to you, Jamie.
Thank you very much. So my name's Jamie and I'm an addict. And although I was 600 days sober yesterday, I will always call myself an addict because the way my brain works, if I ever called myself a recovered addict, I would convince myself that I can drink and take drugs again. So although I'm 600 days clean today, thank you very much. Well, yeah, yesterday was. So I'm 49 years old now. Like Rob, I believe I was born with this gene of addiction, which I think is very similar to ADHD, which is like an obsession in the mind. And when I look back, when I was a child, I definitely had like an obsessive, addictive mindset. I would be relentless at my mum until she bought me something, and she'd buy it and play with it for a day. Then I wanted something else. I've never happy with what I had as a child. I always wanted more. I'd obsess over playing with my mates, eating toys, sweets, whatever I could to kind of take myself out of me, because I suppose I never really felt comfortable as a child. I always felt like there was something missing, like I really never felt like I fit in. And when I was at school, I was the class clown. I think this comes down to probably the undiagnosed ADHD I had as a child. I wasn't naughty, I was just like a disruptive child. But I do remember the teachers getting on at me all the time, telling me I was useless and I'd never become of anything. And I think it stuck with me, to be fair. And again, how my brain works, if someone give me instruction in the classroom, I'd have to ask 3 times before I understood what they meant, and that made me made to feel stupid after asking twice. So I'd just sit there and wouldn't say anything. And I think that's probably some of the reason why I never really learned anything in school. I've always been a really big lad for my age, and probably from being 6 years, 7 years old, I've always been bullied at school. And it was never by kids my age, it was always kids quite a lot older than me, because when I was 6, I was as big as a 9-year-old. When I was 11, I was as big as a 15-year-old. I think because my dad left when I was 5, I never really had a father figure in my life. So I was just a target really for bullies, and I never really fought back. So fast forward to when I was about 14, that's when my friends started drinking alcohol, and because I looked older, I was the one that could get served alcohol. And I remember that first time I tried alcohol, it made me feel comfortable, it made me feel like I fit in, it gave me confidence. And I really like what it did to me, to be fair. It made me stupid, daft, everybody wanted to be my mate, and I thought this was what it was all about. But looking back now, I mean, I drank to blackout for more or less day dot. I passed out, woke on the beach, covered in love bites, and God knows what else, and not really knowing how they got there. And that was kind of like the journey for me, really, when it all started. Because my friends were, trying various drugs, I want to do it as well. And now, again, now I look back on things, the only reason why I never did crack and heroin is because my mates could do it, because I just wanted to do whatever I did to fit in. And, it started off with weed, then it was speed, then it was pills. And it was, it was good fun. I'm not going to lie and sit here and say I didn't have any good fun, because I think in my teens, my 20s, and, half of my 30s, I was a very sociable drink and drug taker, and it was very good fun. There was not really any consequences back then. But I was that person that everything looked all right on the outside, but I wasn't all right in my head. And I think I tried cocaine when I was in my early 20s, but that was definitely my drug of choice. Because that first line of cocaine, I remember where I was, who I was with, what I was doing. And the only reason why I tried it is because I used to drink that much alcohol. I used to black out, and I know, someone said, try this, it would sober you up, and it did. And that's how I started taking it to start with, because I knew I could drink more.
Yeah.
And as time went on, I was only it was quite a long time to be fair, because I was just a massive binger, Fridays and Saturdays, and then it was probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the weekends got longer, but I was kind of still in control. What all I thought I was, because I had a really good job. Again, everything looked all right on the outside. I paid the bills, and everyone did it. So I had that justification now. Well, he does it, she does it. I'm not as bad as him. Everyone does it, and that's what I just classed it as normal, I suppose. Now, I don't think drinking drugs are addictive, because if they were, the whole planet would be addicted to them. And the reason why I mean that is because me and my mates hit it as hard as each other for our teens, 20s, and early 30s. And then when we all got married and had kids, they all grew up and I didn't grow up. All I did was found another group of friends that were 10 years younger than me, that were going through that party phase, and I started knocking around with them. So again, I had that justification there. Everyone does it. And that's how, that's kind of how it went on. And it wasn't really till it was about 38 when things started getting bad. The consequences started happening. I didn't really understand why I couldn't just go out and have 2 drinks. And I swear on my life, I swear on the kid's life, saying, I know I messed up last month, this time's going to be different. And I'd go out, promise I'd be home at 9 o'clock at night, then I'd not come home till 9 o'clock the next day. And I could never understand why it was. And then I beat myself up, and I'd do it again, and I'd do it again. And, to a stage where my wife she wasn't happy about it, but I was only going out once a month then. And the only reason why I was going out once a month because it took me a month to make up, but then I said I won't do it again. And then I'd go and do it again. And this is like the madness of this, what I know is now to be a disease of the mind. So when it got really bad, I was ended up in hospital and, getting really, really, like I say, the usage had gone through the roof. And I was waking up in hospital, breaking bones, doing really stupid things. So I decided to go to rehab in 2018 when I was 38. And the idea was to go to moderate my drinking. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to stop. I just thought I could moderate. So I went to rehab, come out and did 3 months sober. And that was my intention, just to do 3 months sober. And I've not done that for 30 years. So it's a massive achievement, to be fair. We went to Northern Police Body 3 months later. And the first 2 days there were fine. I had a pint at lunchtime, a cocktail at tea time, a glass of wine at night. And I thought, I'm all right now, I've cracked it. By the 3rd day, I was sneaking off to the bar, drinking brandy coffees, doing tequila shots, and I was just back in a massive cycle of drinking drugs again. And it wasn't for another 2 years when I needed to go back again. It was around that first lockdown in 2020, and that's when my drinking went to the next level, because I was really probably a beer and wine drinker, and I'd probably start late afternoon tea time. And if you remember, the weather was amazing. It was March, there was nothing to do. And in a very short period of time, my drinking went from tea time to very early in the morning quite fast. And up to that point, my wife said to me, you're drinking too much. And I could always sort of like say, okay, then I'll have a month off. And then that time, something like this painful made me feel, and I thought, shit, I can't stop anymore. And that's why I went to spirits. And, before I knew it, I had vodka written on dog walks. And it was just getting really, really messy. So I went back to rehab for 4 weeks. But I wouldn't have it that I had a problem with cocaine. I just said, okay, I am probably an alcoholic, because I don't touch cocaine until I've had 2 or 3 pints. And that's when that little signal goes in me, or someone says something, you think, right, let's get it in. So I come out and didn't drink for nearly a year. And I felt all right, to be fair. I had a program, I was doing everything I needed to do, but I got bored of doing it. And then when I was in rehab, the psychologist told me in there that you've got ADHD, but I got told not to go down the medicated route because it's amphetamine, and you've had a problem with cocaine, and probably had the same way with that, but I didn't listen to him. I went privately, got the medication, and within a month of taking the ADHD medication, I was snorting it. I found out which one I could have used. And that didn't end very well. And then around Christmas time of that year, there was a shortage of ADHD medication. I don't remember, it was all over the news.
Yeah.
And my had said to me, because I was doing that to this ADHD tablets, my had said to me, well, you've been sniffing ADHD meds, and that's basically cocaine. So it may as well get some cocaine on as a drought. With that, ended up dry, with that ended up dry slipping. So, and that was, and that, and that was very, that just went on and on and on. My usage was through the roof. It was an everyday thing. I couldn't get out of this grand old day cycle of doing it every day. I'd say to myself, I'll stop tomorrow, and tomorrow never came. So I went back to rehab again, just for 2 weeks, but it was more because I got caught. It wasn't because I wanted to go. It's because I got caught, and I just thought, get everybody off the back, I'd do a quick stint in rehab, do a little detox, and I'll be all right, and I'll be fine again. And that time, I think I lasted about 4 weeks, and I saw a drug dealer that I owed a couple of £100 to. I was that used to giving him money and him giving me something back. I just stood there anywhere I'd been, and then he says, "What are you waiting for?" I says, "Oh, I'll just have one, I'll be all right." And I got this one, and that was the time when I actually thought, this is not going to end well. And I'd done it before I drove home, and I went straight back to the dealers and picked some for thrill. And I was straight back in this cycle again for months and months and months. And the last time I went to rehab was when it got really, really, really bad. I didn't know how to stop. I didn't want to ask for help. I didn't want to tell anybody I needed to go back to rehab again because I felt shit enough about myself. And I decided to go on a holiday to Thailand. I just thought if I get out of my routine, it'll sort me out. But also, in Thailand, in pharmacies, you can get Valium and diazepam and sleeping tablets, which is what they give you as part of a detox program in rehab. So my head and my way of thinking for, right, go over there, week holiday, detox yourself. You've never had a problem with prescription medication before, you'll be all right. And I'm not going to take cocaine over there because it's like death sentence. So I just thought, right, I could do that. And again, we got there, first couple of days, I was doing them sensibly. And bearing in mind, the tablets over there are 5 times stronger over there than they are in this country. So I was already, having a bigger dose. And within 3 or 4 days, I was eating them like Smarties. I couldn't tell you how many I was on, but it was stupid amount. And I went on that holiday, and again, you wouldn't, I look at pictures of me now, I'm back in elephants, I'm on boats, and you wouldn't have known what I was doing. And to a stage where I don't really remember coming back off that holiday. I don't really remember going into rehab. And I come around when I was in rehab, and I had to be put on a Subutex detox, which is what they give heroin addicts because I had that much tramadol in the system. Why I ended up taking tramadol, I don't know. Well, I do because it's how my brain works. I just started something else into me mix. I had that much tramadol in the system. They said I should be dead. And I think it was that would give me the eye opener that I needed, because I realised that I couldn't drink or take drugs sensibly. And like I say, if there was a way where I could sensibly drink or take drugs, I wouldn't be sat here today. I'd be still out there. I've tried every single back way into sensibly doing it, swapping one thing for another, and it doesn't work because I'm allergic to mind-altering substances, whether it's alcohol, which is liquid form, cocaine, prescription medication, and today I know the only thing I'm in control of is putting that first drink or drug inside me, and after that, it's game over, and that's why, although I'm 600 days, today's the only day that matters, and because I've got a program today and I live in the day, I know that I can't control the future. I can't change the past. I've done what I've done. Yes, I've done it, but I look at it now that the stuff that I did in active addiction, it wasn't the person that sat here today. I did stupid things. I stole money from the family business to fund my habit. Well, I was stealing it, but I just thought I was being clever about it because I was trying to hide it from because I got caught spending my own money before. I just found another way to buy it without anybody noticing. But obviously, it was always going to go tits up at some point. But when you're stuck in addiction like that, you don't see it there. All you see is that day. And you don't care about consequences, do you? And I think why it's changed this time is because I think the first time I went to rehab, I did it for my mum. The second time I did it for my wife, and the third time I did it for my kids. And it doesn't work like that. I've had to hold my hand and say, I've got an issue and I need some help, and I'm doing it for me, because it doesn't work if you do it for anybody else. And I've accepted that I'm an addict because I've always justified it, or I've always compared myself to someone else, because I thought an addict was like a homeless person on a park bench, like a crackhead or a smackhead. But I was a functioning addict in denial. That's what I was. And I masked it very well for a very, very long time until the cracks started to appear. All I've done, I've because ADHD is ADHD one thing when I was a child, and obviously I think it's like an 80% chance if you've got undiagnosed ADHD as a child, you've got an 8% chance of having some form of addiction when you get older. And what I've done it to self-medicate and shut the noise up in my head because I had a really noisy head.
Yeah.
I just got kind of carried away with it. But today everything's good. I've got an easy life today. Stress doesn't really get to me anymore. I don't feel like I'm in that fight or flight mode anymore. And it's all down to having routine and structure. But I think the most important thing is being consistent. I think consistency is what's good for me this time, and it's great discipline. But yeah, I'm in a good place today. Obviously, I'm helping other people now that have been where I've been, and it's going really well. So if anybody is watching this and you want some help, please get in touch. So I think I'll leave it. I said 15 minutes.
There you go. Cheers, Jamie.
That's a fast version.
Thank you, mate. So yeah, I've got a couple of things from that. Obviously, I know your story very well, and we're very similar in how we think about stuff. First off, the comment about the average sort of like alcoholic or addict that people see. Thinking about it, I don't actually know any, and I've been in recovery for a long time, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. Mm-hmm. I don't, and the classic what people think is an addict isn't. I don't think is actually really a thing, or it's a very, very small percentage. Mm-hmm. Every addict, every alcoholic I know is a functioning person. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't necessarily look at them and go, "You're an addict" or "You're an alcoholic."
Yeah.
And everybody I talk to that has an issue, whether they like to say it or not, is just a normal person because we wear that mask about us. We don't openly, in active addiction, we don't openly say or act like addicts because that's the point. The point is you're trying to hide it. And also the obsession of the mind and stuff, and the fact that I personally, same as you, don't believe that these substances aren't necessarily addictive. The obsession of the mind that everybody goes on about, and certain meetings go on about, that you've got the obsession of the mind on alcohol, or obsession of the mind of drugs. That's not, for me anyway, that's not fucking case. It's not to do with that. The obsession of the mind is an illness of the brain, the same as, like you said, the same as ADHD. There's an issue within us. It's not the substance. The substance is there to get us away from that. So the obsession is a deep-rooted birth-born brain disease. So I think differently and I act differently to everybody else that I know that's not an addict.
Yeah.
And that's the obsession with the mind. The obsession of the mind for me is that the thoughts going 200 miles an hour, the thinking ahead, the thinking back, the obsession of where I'm going to get it next. It's not the actual substance itself. Because if it was the substance, how the fuck of all of us just been able to cut it out? Because if it really was addictive like that, then you wouldn't just be able to do that. And I woke up, I know we're all different, but I woke up one day and I didn't touch it. After that one day, and I went into rehab like you, I never touched it again. Yeah. If it's that fucking addictive, then how can I do that?
Yeah.
I couldn't. The only reason I did it was like you, was face what was going on in my brain.
Yeah.
Not the substance, what's going on in there.
Yeah.
The fact that I am different.
Because because it's as good as I am today, and I've still got an addict mindset because I can get obsessed over coming to work, and get steps in.
Yeah.
Which again is exactly the same as how my head would work if I wanted to run out.
Yeah.
got that same. I go through that same process in my head. But
Yeah,
what I do,
your thought pattern hasn't really changed.
no,
You've learned to deal with it,
yeah,
and you don't use the substances anymore.
yeah,
But that hasn't disappeared, and that's why we do it day by day, and that's why it's a daily process.
Yeah.
Because the substance is gone. The substance goes within sort of a couple of weeks out of the body.
yeah. Yeah. And that's why, because I know I'm still an addict, still got it in me. That's why I'll never call myself recovered.
No.
Because I know people say it, and that's if they want to say that, and that's fair enough. Me, how my head works, because my head is that strong thinking. If I convince myself I'm recovered, I'll be out that door again using.
Yeah. Well, the way I see that, I always classify myself as a born addict. So I'm born an addict because there's a chromosome or something different that I was born with, and that's what the brain disease is all about.
Yeah.
If I'm born with it, I can't just. It doesn't ever fucking go. If I'm born without fucking leg, it don't suddenly grow back one day.
Yeah, no.
It's not there. So it's always going to be there.
Yeah. I watched something the other day where, going off what you just said, I can't remember when I watched it, but it's about addiction and stuff. And it kind of like, don't quote me on this, can't remember word for word what it said. It said, when people are addicts and they're using and stuff, instead of looking at all the bad side of things, look at what's good about it for them, what's making them feel good. Why are they taking this?
Yeah.
Like you've just said, so that was very interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
for me, it was. I took it to represent something
It's
that
a mask.
wasn't me. It was a mask.
Yeah,
To make
100%.
sure that the world knew that Rob
Yeah.
was a normal person when I'm not,
Yeah.
or I wasn't. I was fucked in the head. But I portrayed the fact that I am because I've got a house, I've got a wife, I've got kids, I've got money, I've got whatever it is. It was just an act. It was just a show. It was.
There's a hell of a lot of people like that.
So many, yeah.
Hell of a lot of people.
Yeah, so it was all about what you call a high functioning alcoholic. You never believed me for a long time to be the way it was. I could get a mask on for anyone unless you really knew me. You didn't have a clue what I was doing. And because I'd go to work and I wouldn't have a problem. This back when I was working in pubs, I wouldn't even drink. I wouldn't even drink when people, have a drink. Nah, I'm alright, And that, I'll have it later. And working's like, he's so good. He's so good. He wouldn't do, he wouldn't do anything like that. Then as soon as the pub emptied,
Well, that's the thing. The alcoholic or the addict will be putting that mask on. So when somebody offers them a drink, they say no.
Yeah.
But 5 minutes later, you'd be round by your fucking coat going like that.
Yeah.
Either that or you start clock watching. What I used to do was like, if I know I had a couple of pints, I'd literally look at that clock going, why don't you want to fuck off because I want those pints?
Yeah.
Just put that mask on, but in my brain sitting there going, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, if people, the normal people out there, if they knew what went on in your head, my head, in active addiction, they'd put you down.
Oh god, yeah.
And absolutely put you down or put you on the fucking unity bin.
But I think, I think there's a lot of normal people out there who are going through the addict thing.
Yeah.
They're afraid to admit it. They won't do it, address it.
Oh god, yeah.
There's only hundreds of them.
Because they compares, because everybody compares themselves with other people. I mean, I've got a lad at the minute that's a cocaine addict. All he does is try sniffing. His mum is an alcoholic. All she does says, well, I never touch, all she does is like compares herself to him because of what he does because he's worse than she is.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what everybody does.
Yeah.
You've got to surround yourself by people who do what you do, and you're always sort of like secretly saying to yourself, I'm not as bad as him.
Mm-hmm.
She's loads worse than I am. Well, he's out every night. I only go out 3 nights a week.
Yeah. Well, they all do it, don't they? I said to a customer yesterday, and I tell all my customers if they ask, because he always generally comes up, you're going to have a drink tonight? You're walking football. You've got no, mate, I don't drink.
Okay.
And their immediate thing is defence, isn't it?
Yeah.
The immediate thing is to go, I don't actually drink.
I don't drink.
Can I just touch on that what you just said about football?
Yeah.
So, what was it? Saturday. No, Saturday I was working. Was it Tuesday? One match was on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Right, so Tuesday. So I'd come to the meeting, and I thought I'd just pop in the ship, see how Ellie is, right? Literally, I kid you not, I stayed there for 5 minutes. I walked in, the whole place was absolutely rammed fucking full, right? But I stood there and I thought, do you know what? This isn't about the football.
No.
This is not about the football.
No.
This is a place for everyone just to come and get absolutely.
Because you've got a great night.
The football's the
Right.
excuse.
Yeah,
The football's the excuse.
You've got a
And there's
great night.
people going in and having toilets, and this, that, the other. And I'm stood there and I'm thinking, God, and I said, I'm off there. I cannot stand it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
watching it was ridiculous. So Saturday I didn't go down. But she just got a call today that the Prime Minister said the pubs can stay open till 5 o'clock on Monday.
Oh yeah, because
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Every pub in the country can stay open till 5 o'clock in the
You'll
morning.
be quite
So-
those merchants on Monday.
So,
funny because
yeah, so
England
you
did
go to the pubs and watch football now on Monday.
Just
well, Sunday night.
Sunday,
innit?
Sunday night, yeah.
Yeah.
So they've all got the go ahead to stay open until 5. So that's going to be messy, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not a big not
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
but yeah.
I get that, and I did a video on it the other day, but I was, I mean, I don't know much of the football, but it was never about the football. It was about me being able to go out and get smashed.
Yeah.
But you know, when I did go out, I'd never watch it because I spent most of my time in the toilet
exactly.
or chewing someone's ear off.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. But
Yeah.
this weekend, last weekend just gone, I've been to a wedding, to a good friend's wedding. I was there all day. Went on holiday went to Centre Parks for a few days. My wife's birthday, and I went out to the pub on Centre Parks and watched the England football match. And not once did it talk into my head to drink or take drugs. But normally that would have been an excuse.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have been on it from Friday till I come home.
yeah.
You know, it's I'm on holiday or I'm at a wedding.
Yeah.
You know, that was my excuse all the time. There was always that justification.
Always a bloody excuse.
Yeah.
And there should be no excuse for it, really. But yeah, there's always an excuse, and I always put excuses there. There's always I work too hard, or got too much work, or I haven't got enough work, or I'm happy, or I'm sad. There was always something.
So, you know, I'd love to go around people like shit, just to go, okay, so is this about the football for you? Is this about like getting pissed? Oh no, it's about the football. All right, we'll go home,
Yeah.
have a cup of tea,
Go
I'll watch it off your sofa.
Yeah.
Will you do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
No, you fucking won't.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then it'd be the excuse. Oh well, we both drunk, but so
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Exactly.
That's the guy.
That's it.
Like we've always said, if you want that drink or you want some of that better, you will find an excuse. You will make an excuse just to be there and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Euros, wedding, funeral,
Anything.
World Cup, and yeah, holiday. You had a shit week at work, you had a good week at work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, if it's not a justification, you've got a reward system, haven't you? Because you
Yeah.
deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've lived my whole life like that. You know, it was funny because something cropped up a bit ago, and it made me really think. Because my mates used to say, back in the day, you know, when I didn't really think I had a problem, my mates used to say to me, "You drink like you're on a mission." And
That's
do you know
like-
what? And I did. And it's because before I'd gone out, I knew exactly where I was going, what bars I was going to be in, and what I was going to drink in exactly each bar. And as soon as I had my thinking that I want to move on, like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I was like, calm down. You look like you're on a mission, and I was.
Yeah.
Because I knew where I want to get to in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
your brain had already pre-planned it.
I pre-planned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd be arsy if we want to get moving at my pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got told it all the time, and I never really thought about it. Yeah.
Let's bring back golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always you can addicts are just free. We have to literally think about everything and plan everything to the nearest fucking T, which is why we're always so manic, so pissy when it doesn't go right. And yeah,
It's out of control. Even when my kids were younger, when I was drinking, if we had a day out plan with the kids, it had all been planned about going, stopping at restaurants so I could have a pint. I'd never go out for breakfast because I wouldn't get a pint.
Yeah.
I'd come up with some bullshit excuse why we just had to go for an lunch.
Yeah.
And it's because I know I wanted a pint.
Yeah.
Or we go to an indoor play area or something like that, and I'd only go to one within a pub. I won't go to an on one.
Mm.
Yeah, it was always everything.
Literally. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like I say, it takes over your life.
Oh, it does. The brain just, when you say it goes, like the brain goes at 200 miles an hour, it literally does.
Yeah.
It's such a nice feeling not to stress about every single minute fucking detail of your day. It's lovely. Right, we are up on time
is that it?
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But so thank you all for watching. Thank you, Jamie, for sharing your story. Like he said, if any out there that are in the area got or think you've got an issue or got partners an issue, you can see him. He's here at Holton Deal. So Drummond Road in Skegness. So thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for have a little click and view. Have a share as well. It'd be good. What with him?
We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. All the
Twitter.
Twitter X. Follow accounts going up all the time. We've got some good stuff in the pipeline, which we'll keep you all updated with very soon. I'll put an announcement out about what will be coming.
Great, thank you. And we'll try and get Damo back as well.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Yeah, so, share that freaking wallet off.